Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, wondering why someone you haven't spoken to in months or even years still lingers in your thoughts? Why do certain people take up space in our minds, even when there's nothing but silence between us? Is it love, unresolved emotions, or something deeper that keeps them alive in our hearts? Welcome back to the Stoic Way, where we unravel the profound truths of life, relationships, and personal growth through the lens of timeless wisdom and philosophy. Today's topic delves into a deeply personal and universal experience, the mysterious hold certain people have on our minds, even when all communication has ceased. What is it about their presence, or their absence, that leaves such a lasting imprint? And more importantly, how can we find peace within ourselves when these thoughts feel overwhelming? If you've ever felt the pull of these silent connections, this video is for you. Together, we'll uncover the emotional and psychological layers behind this experience, exploring the intricate interplay of memory, attachment, and meaning that ties us to these individuals. Before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button to support this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you'll never miss our explorations into life's most profound questions. And if this topic resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, because sometimes the act of sharing can spark clarity and connection. Let's dive in. When someone stays in your mind, it often feels like they've carved out a piece of your heart, leaving behind an invisible signature. This emotional imprint may stem from the depth of your connection or the weight of unspoken feelings. Perhaps it's the way their laughter lit up a moment, or the way their absence now casts a shadow over your days. Neuroscience explains that our brains cling to experiences tied to strong emotions, whether joyous or painful, like a collector unwilling to part with their most treasured relics. This explains why certain people feel like permanent residents in the landscape of your thoughts. They are more than a memory. They are an unresolved chapter in your emotional story, a question mark where you hoped for a period. From a Stoic perspective, Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." These words echo a truth we often forget when we dwell on someone. It's not their actions or absence that haunt us, but the meaning we attach to them. Why do we surrender our mental peace to the ghost of a connection? Often, it's because the imprint they left behind feels unfinished. A lingering goodbye, an unsaid apology, or even the hope for a future reconciliation keeps us tethered. But this emotional ache isn't something to fear. It's a testament to your capacity to care deeply, to feel profoundly. Still, it also calls you to look inward. What is your heart holding on to? What is your mind replaying? And more importantly, what do you need to truly heal? Silence has a peculiar way of magnifying emotions. When communication halts, it's as if the world dims, leaving your mind to play back memories like a film on an endless loop. You find yourself dissecting every word they said, every glance they gave, every moment that now feels like it carries a hidden meaning. The silence between you grows louder, and in that void, your imagination takes the reins. You construct elaborate narratives, oscillating between hope and despair, trying to make sense of what remains unsaid. But silence, as much as it aches, is also a teacher. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." How true this feels when you're caught in the storm of what-ifs. You wonder, what if I had said this? What if they feel the same but are too afraid to tell me? What if this silence means it's over forever? And yet, all this wondering often brings more suffering than answers. Still, silence is not your enemy. It's a mirror. It reflects back the unresolved emotions you've buried, the patterns in your relationships, and the unmet needs within yourself. What does the quiet reveal to you? Does it whisper that you've been giving too much of yourself without receiving enough in return? Does it show you your fear of being alone? Or does it nudge you toward the realization that this person may have been a lesson, not a destination? Silence can feel like a wound, but it can also be a space for growth. In its stillness, you can find the strength to let go of the stories you've been telling yourself about who they are, about who you are, and about what you truly deserve. what they represent. Sometimes the person we're thinking about isn't just a person, they're a mirror, reflecting back parts of ourselves we've yet to fully understand. They might symbolize a longing for connection, unresolved emotions, or even traits we deeply admire but feel we lack. Think about the times you've been drawn to someone who exudes confidence, kindness, or ambition. It's not just about them, it's about what those qualities awaken in you. Are they showing you the version of yourself you wish to become? For example, imagine someone whose generosity deeply moves you. Perhaps their kindness stirs a desire to be more open-hearted, to give freely without fear of rejection. Or maybe their ambition lights a fire in you, reminding you of dreams you've tucked away out of fear or self-doubt. In these moments, the person becomes a symbol, a guidepost, showing you where growth is calling. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Instead of fixating on the individual, ask yourself what their presence in your mind is revealing about you. What are they teaching you about the person you aspire to be? Sometimes they represent more than qualities. They symbolize an unfinished chapter in your story. Maybe they remind you of a time when you felt truly alive, or perhaps they're tied to moments of pain that still feel unresolved. Their memory isn't just a haunting, it's a teacher. Joy, heartbreak, or even regret, they all carry lessons if you're willing to look closely. So, ask yourself, what does their presence uncover about my journey? What part of me needs healing, closure, or attention? Becoming aware of why someone lingers in your thoughts is the first act of liberation. It's a courageous step toward reclaiming your mental and emotional space. Ask yourself, am I thinking about them because of unresolved feelings, love, anger, or grief? Do they symbolize something I feel is missing in my life? Purpose, connection, or belonging? Am I projecting my hopes, desires, or insecurities onto them? When you begin to answer these questions honestly, you uncover truths about yourself that may have been hiding in plain sight. Journaling can be a powerful tool here. Writing down your thoughts without judgment can bring clarity to the tangled emotions within. Meditation, too, allows you to sit with these feelings, to observe them without being consumed by them. And sometimes, opening up to a trusted friend or therapist can bring perspectives you hadn't considered. But self-awareness doesn't stop at asking questions. It also means challenging the stories you've built around this person. Are you idealizing them, placing them on a pedestal, and turning them into a version of themselves that never truly existed? Are you only holding on to the beautiful moments while conveniently ignoring the struggles, the flaws, or the ways the relationship, real or imagined, may have held you back? It's natural to cling to the idea of perfection, especially when it's tied to longing. But growth begins when you gently remind yourself of the truth. No person or relationship is flawless. They are human, as are you, and the path forward is found not in fantasy but in embracing reality. In this journey of self-awareness, remember to be kind to yourself. It's not easy to untangle the web of emotions that someone's presence or absence can create. But every insight, every small moment of clarity, is a step closer to the person you're meant to become. Their role in your story is not to define you, but to teach you, to guide you toward the next chapter of your personal growth. When silence feeds imagination, our minds by nature are curious and endlessly creative. In some ways, this is a gift. It allows us to dream, to imagine, and to think beyond the ordinary. However, this very creativity can become our worst enemy when faced with silence. In the absence of answers, we begin to fill the void with speculation. Every moment of stillness becomes fertile ground for overanalysis, creating a storm of thoughts that may never be grounded in reality. Perhaps you've been there, caught in a quiet space waiting for a message that never comes, wondering if the person you're thinking of is feeling the same. Your imagination spins wild scenarios, each one more dramatic than the last. You wonder, are they thinking about me? Or, what did I do wrong? It's a spiral that can take on a life of its own. It's easy to let these thoughts consume you, especially when silence amplifies your fears, doubts, and insecurities. But this is where the wisdom of Stoicism offers a profound shift. The Stoic practice of separating fact from fiction provides a crucial tool in moments like these. Instead of being swept away by unfounded assumptions, you can ground yourself in what you actually know. You don't have control over the thoughts of others, but you do have control over how you interpret the silence. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your judgment of them. And it is in your power to wipe out that judgment now." When your mind starts to spiral, take a step back. What do you really know? What are the facts and what are the fears you've built around them? Often, the mind will present you with scenarios that feel real in the moment but are rooted in nothing but speculation. Silence, in this sense, can be a trap, feeding your imagination with assumptions that distort reality. Recognize it, and gently refocus on the truth, on the things you can actually observe and control. Instead of letting silence stir up anxiety, consider it an opportunity to redirect your energy into something more constructive. It's in these quiet moments that your mind can find room to breathe and create, but you get to choose how it creates. Channel your energy into a hobby, a passion project, or acts of kindness. Whether it's learning a new skill, helping a friend in need, or focusing on self-improvement, redirecting your imagination towards positive, tangible goals can break the cycle of overthinking. Imagine how fulfilling it feels to use that mental space for something that brings joy, growth, and connection. Reclaiming mental space. Fixating on someone, especially when they're silent or distant, can drain you in ways you might not even realize. It pulls you out of the present moment, stealing your energy and clouding your ability to enjoy the here and now. In the rush of wondering, do they miss me? What did I do wrong? You lose sight of the things that are within your grasp, your own thoughts, actions, and growth. To reclaim your mental space, it's essential to practice mindfulness and gratitude. When your mind starts to wander into the realm of uncertainty, pause. Take a deep breath and bring your focus back to the present. What can you appreciate in this moment? The warmth of the sun, the comfort of your breath, the sound of your own voice. These simple acts of mindfulness anchor you to what is real, keeping you from getting swept away by what's uncertain. In the Stoic tradition, living in alignment with nature means accepting things as they are. It's about understanding that you can't control every aspect of your life, nor the people in it. Sometimes, the most powerful act of self-care is to simply let go of the mental attachments that no longer serve you. Letting go doesn't mean you forget or stop caring. It means choosing to free yourself from the weight of unproductive thoughts and emotions. One powerful way to facilitate this letting go is through symbolic rituals. Write a letter to the person who occupies your thoughts, expressing everything you've been holding in. Then, release it, whether by shredding it, burning it, or simply placing it in a box to signify that you're choosing to let it go. This act is more than just symbolic. It's a clear, intentional step towards reclaiming your inner peace and making space for the new and the meaningful. In those moments of silence when your mind starts to wander and your imagination runs wild, remember this: you are in control. The power to choose your thoughts, to redirect your energy, and to find peace lies within you. Through mindful practice and conscious effort, you can rise above the noise of imagination and reconnect with the present, grounded firmly in your own strength and clarity. The gift of letting go. Letting go is not about erasing someone from your memory. It's about releasing the emotional hold they have over your heart. It's not a simple act, and it's not instantaneous. There's no magic formula for forgetting someone or erasing them from your thoughts. But what you can do is free yourself from the emotional ties that keep you anchored to the past. When you let go, it's like opening the windows of a room that's been closed for far too long, allowing fresh air and light to flood in. In that newfound space, there's room for new experiences, new people, and new opportunities. It's where personal growth begins, when you step into your own power and allow yourself to evolve without the weight of what's no longer serving you. Take, for example, the story of Anna. She had been in a long relationship that ended abruptly, and for months, she found herself stuck in a cycle of remembering all the good moments. The laughter, the inside jokes, the plans they had made together. Yet, as she held on to those memories, they became a source of sadness. It wasn't that she wanted to forget. It was that she couldn't move forward while she was still emotionally entangled. It wasn't until she took a step back and acknowledged that holding on wasn't about preserving those beautiful memories, but about freeing herself from the pain, that she could begin to heal. By letting go of the grip those memories had on her, Anna created space in her heart to rediscover her own passions, to rebuild her life, and to invite new relationships into her world. This process of letting go is what Epictetus referred to when he said, "He who is free of desire is free from sorrow." Desire, in this context, doesn't just mean wanting things. It's the yearning for the past, the attachment to a person or situation that no longer serves us. When you can free yourself from that desire, you free your heart from sorrow. It's not about denying your feelings or pretending the past didn't matter. It's about choosing peace over pain. The gift of letting go is the gift of emotional freedom, of reclaiming the power you have to shape your own narrative and write a new chapter in your life. There is also a deep lesson in letting go: acceptance. It's the acceptance of what was, of what is, and perhaps most importantly, of what might never be. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means that, in caring for yourself, you learn that some things are out of your control, and that's okay. When you accept what you cannot change, you release the need to hold on to what isn't meant to be. You begin to see that life doesn't always go according to plan, and that's part of the beauty of it. Letting go doesn't mean you love any less. It means you love yourself more. Think of David, who struggled with the loss of a friend he had grown apart from. The friendship was no longer mutual, and the emotional toll was heavy on him. At first, he thought that to let go meant erasing the bond they once shared. But over time, he realized that letting go didn't mean forgetting. It meant accepting that their paths had diverged, that they were both on different journeys. Once he accepted that, the pain of the loss faded. In its place, there was room for compassion, for the friend he once had and for the person he was becoming. David's letting go wasn't a loss at all. It was a powerful act of self-liberation. Letting go is not an easy thing to do, and it's something that requires patience and self-compassion. It's a journey, not a destination. But the peace, clarity, and freedom you gain along the way are priceless. It's a practice that nourishes your spirit, heals your heart, and propels you toward the life you're meant to live. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might need to hear this, and don't forget to subscribe to the Stoic Way for more insights on relationships, personal growth, and timeless Stoic wisdom. Remember, your mind is your most valuable space. Guard it wisely, nurture it with positivity, and let go of anything that doesn't serve your higher purpose. Until next time, stay grounded and keep growing.